Hey team, welcome back to another episode of the Jen Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jen Wynn. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area. I went to college in Michigan. I don't know, dude. Hey. Today we're
Hey.
gonna be talking to Carli Martinez. Hey, welcome. Yeah, welcome to Vlogmas. Welcome back to Vlogmas. We just got done filming our cookie video.
Yes, it was so fun. Jen brought her family tradition to my house, and
So
my heart
fun.
is full.
It is a lot of work,
Yeah.
the cookie process, because you have to prep dough. You have
Yeah.
to let it sit
Cookie
overnight,
cut.
and then you gotta cut the cookies, bake them. But honestly, once all that stuff's that, the decorating part's the fun part. So
Yeah. No, it was
fun.
so we made some really cute cookies.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We got a little interrupt. The kitty cat decided it was time to be done.
Yeah. I don't know, like my cat likes everything. She eats
Food.
everything. She's a big girl.
Yeah, dude.
Might see her later, but yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So thank you for coming back. Oh my god. You're our first return guest.
I'm back.
Which is so exciting.
Part two.
So when we started, so today we're just going to go through like a 2025 reflection. Something that I always do at the end of years is like really take some time to think about the year and like how different I am from the beginning of the year. You know what I mean?
Give yourself that recognition.
Yeah.
Time
Think about it.
flies. Yeah.
And then also be like, okay, well, what are some of the things that I want to be different about next year now too? Yeah. So, and we won't talk about that as much during this episode of like what do we want to be different for 2026, but like I figured you would be a good person to talk about the year with because we both had some pretty big years.
It was a big year, I would say so. 2025 was filled with a lot of like growth.
Yeah.
So
yes.
yeah.
And when I envision talking about growth, I'm like, well, we can do that together.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
I'm honored.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming on again. So okay. We talked about this a little bit. This is sort of my first year following my dreams.
Yes.
So I at the beginning of 2025, well, at the end of 2024, I was devastated. Like my family and I were going through some stuff together. And so I like knew that I was going to go into this year alone sort of. And I was like, okay, how am I going to not fill this time, but like
I would say the same.
How am I going to create community for myself?
100%. I would say the same. Definitely moving and like being isolated. Yeah.
Isolation and like
when it's just you. Go get him, Dante.
Bro,
you go.
All he do is bark.
Get him, King.
He said, I'm gonna go drink something.
I need a break after that.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, like, how are you gonna fill your time when it's just you?
Yeah.
Like when it's you versus you, how are you gonna spend that time with yourself?
Spend that time with yourself when you're not worrying about what other people are doing.
Ooh, that was yours. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I kind of assumed a caretaker.
Yeah.
That like it was unnecessary and
it's an assumption. Mm-hmm. Like it's an
assumption. I assumed the
rule.
Position. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody told you to do that.
Yeah.
But
correct.
You did it anyways.
Correct. And so yeah, I don't know. It's been nice to put that time. This year has all that extra time that I usually spend dedicated to others. And I don't mean to it sounded even shady at all. Just like
because it's personal.
I've spent it all on me this last year. And I think that at the beginning, like we were discussing a little bit, the first time we filmed, I was so uncomfortable. I was nervous. I was like, this isn't really that cool. This isn't that impressive. Thank you for being here though. You know what I mean? I was like and I've become more confident in my process.
And like when you did come for the first time, I didn't think it was like known that you felt that way. I didn't get that vibe. It seemed like, I mean, once you do something, you are that.
Yeah.
You are a podcaster. Like,
right.
And I ran into somebody that's so funny, like as I was traveling, and he was like, taking pictures, and he asked if he could take my photo, and I was like, oh, you're a photographer? And he's like, no. Then he pulls out a business card. I'm like, dude, you're a photographer.
Yeah,
like,
you
get
have a
over
business
it.
card, bro. Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like, you do the thing, you
Yeah.
assume that position.
Correct. You are that thing.
You are that thing, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay to take yourself seriously in
it
those
is,
roles.
and be confident with that,
and
even if
try.
it's like this much.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're putting in this much effort, you're still
doing
you get to assume that you're an artist. Yeah.
Correct.
Like,
you're doing art.
Yeah, you create.
Correct.
You're creative.
You're creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's sort of how I entered the year. Did you enter in any? So yeah, is there anything you wanted to expand on?
Yeah,
how you entered?
I mean, I came into the new year, kind of like on a low. I would say.
Sure.
It wasn't super exciting for me. I was accepting where I was in this moment and learning what do you do. Like, I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, I need to put on some affirmations. Like, I'm in my head. I have anxiety. I don't really know how to function in my house by myself. So definitely did a lot of that. And then like trying to cook and connect with food. Like, you're living alone. Someone's got to feed you.
Right.
So, trying to get into my routine and see like what works for me, spending all that time by myself and filling it with things that make me happy, not pleasing other people.
Correct.
Because sometimes I just go with the flow of other people's fun and vibes, and then you're like, wow, what do I like?
What do I enjoy when other people aren't around? That's something that I've really had to focus on this year too. Yeah. Of like, even down to like music taste and stuff for a long time was just like a culmination, and to a large extent, like that's normal. Like the human experience is just being a culmination, but like not having any idea, not having any identity outside of that, it's a bit much, you know.
Yeah, I would say so. Because you don't really know who you are outside of those things. Then you get alone, you're like, who are you?
Right. And you're sad.
What do you need? You're sad. Like, it feels empty, and like until you dig deep and try to understand where those feelings are coming from, kind of just sit with it. Like, what the heck?
Right.
So yeah.
Cool. So that's sort of the precedent that we the context that we entered the year in. I think what's gonna be best for like us, something that we are like very similar is like traveling. You travel more than I do, even, but like I know that that's a place that I grow, I learn. When I'm in those spaces is when I'm the most inspired and all those things. So I figured that would be the way that we could talk about.
Yeah. No, 100%. Traveling is extremely influential to your life. People who don't travel often, I highly suggest that you get out and see the world, and meet yourself in those places. Like, what is the saying? Like you can run away from you, but you'll still find yourself in those places, the same person that you are at home in those spaces. So it's very unique.
And even so my first trip of the year was to see you, actually.
That was in March, right?
Yeah. I had spent like the first beginning part of the year just like sort of trying to establish a routine, not really do much, because I like budgeting was a big part of my goals for this year too. Learning how to budget in a way that makes sense for me, that sort of thing. And so I was like, the beginning of the year, I was really firm in that. Like, I think we all start the year like really set in. We're gonna do it this
lock
year.
In. No, for sure. I love saying that. I think it's so funny. I'd be like, I'm gonna go lock in.
I'm gonna go lock in. Yeah. No, literally. I'll literally tell people at work, I need to go lock in real quick.
I mean, like, so BRB, sorry. I'm gonna go lock in.
I literally will sit here and talk to you for the next 4 hours, so I need to go lock in.
Exactly. I say that all the time. And locking in for me looks like I'm putting my headphones on.
And trying to, like,
guys, DND.
Yeah.
Do not disturb. Please do not.
Because I will. We'll talk.
Like, put the sticker on my back. Yeah, like, you see those memes?
Yes.
Like, do not talk.
Because she will talk.
I will talk.
Yeah.
We will. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely that.
So, and you, I didn't know for sure. I knew that the podcast was going to come back this year, but I didn't know how I was going to do guests and all that sort
Yeah.
of thing. That was sort of like a off a whim
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. And I remember you were like, "Okay, let's do it right now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" Because it was obviously something I was nervous about anyway, because we were talking about it. So just to have people be like, yeah, we can do this right now,
Yeah,
if you
come as you
want.
are.
Yeah,
That was my vibe. Like when you were talking about it, I don't think there's a right time to be like, okay, I think on March 15th I'll feel
right
up for this podcast. That's why I said even this weekend, like come.
Yeah,
I'll come as I am. There's never a
correct.
perfect time, so I think seizing that is important.
Correct. Yeah. And it was fun. It was a good first experience too, just because it was so that of like, I have no expectations for how you're gonna host or whatever, because that part is scary too. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to talk.
Yeah. And I'm like a girly in her first apartment, like
correct.
really hosting, like
Let's
actually having a
right.
guest.
Correct.
So
it was good.
Yeah.
That was my first. So, and I had to really sit with myself. I got a hotel, I remember, and like the night before I was so like nervous and like it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, you're really doing this. You're really trying to do something that you internally thought was silly for a long, not silly, but like,
well,
I held some shame about it,
Yeah.
that this was something I wanted to try.
Or people are going to meet you halfway in those things
Yeah.
and believe in you the same way you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
it was
glad
a good like first step.
Yeah.
And like set the precedent for the year, sort of. It was like, okay, you're gonna lock into this year.
Yeah.
And I did, and I did. As
you should.
Yeah. How about you? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Let's start talking about your travel.
My first trip. I was kind of all over this year. I went to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different places. Super cool.
Yeah.
I started the year in Seattle, like end of February, early March. And Seattle's gorgeous.
I love Seattle.
I just love the West Coast.
Me too.
I'm a West Coast girly.
Me too.
Free me.
Yeah. No.
I love the West Coast, and I've been to Oregon and I've been to California, but I never have been to Washington. And the people that I was around out there were incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody they took me for who I was. It felt like people saw me for me, and like I didn't have to water myself down. It was a work trip.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I was working with, they kind of remind me of like theater kids. Like they're opening, they're warm, they're welcoming, and
Seattle is like theater kid coded in my head.
I would say so, which is funny, right? Like these people are from all over, but we were sharing it in Seattle together.
Yeah. That's so funny.
But Seattle was gorgeous. I know it's kind of like a rainy city.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely more of a sunshine type of girl.
Sure.
But that didn't bother me. Like I actually have a few thoughts about it.
Yeah, the overcast is sort of nice, honestly.
The mountains are beautiful. Then you have the ocean. It's incredible. I love Seattle.
I love Seattle.
I would say, aside from feeling so seen and like I just could come as I am with people, I had a bit of a culture shock because I didn't realize like the legalization of so many things.
Or the decriminalization.
The decriminalization, exactly.
Yeah.
Of so many things was like how that affected that area. I wasn't aware.
Truly it makes a difference.
Because we live in the Midwest, like we're very close to Chicago.
Yeah.
We see things all the time. However, it was just a different culture shock for me that was like, oh.
The first time I saw someone like do like hard drugs for real, what I consider hard drugs for real, was in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I had never seen that stuff happen in real life, just like out on the street until I was there, which is like no tea, no shade.
Yeah, it was just a culture shock.
It is just like an experience that I had.
And exactly. And I shared that with people. When I do travel, I will talk to the locals. Like we will yap outside, and
as you should.
I ended up kind of bringing that up, and I was like expressing how it has been a little uncomfortable for me at first. Like I'm still finding my footing. Like someone gifted me Narcan.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
That's nice.
It was. But this was like as I'm feeling these feelings, and then someone's like, by the
way, it definitely doesn't. Yeah.
Take this with you and keep it in
just
your
in
purse.
Case.
And I was like,
it doesn't incite like safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a
I've had some
little.
crazy experiences in the Pacific
Yeah,
Northwest. Yeah.
yeah. So I started talking to a lot of the people who lived out there and just getting perspective. And one of the women that I met, she worked on the street, helping people get off the street and helping them get through rehab and
Queen.
changing their lives. And it gave me a different perspective on like what I initially felt.
Hmm?
And all of that went out the window.
Yeah.
Like at first, I was like, "Ooh, I'm spooked," but there was nothing to be afraid of. These are people's real lives
Yeah.
that they experience. So
Correct.
I just thought it was a good opportunity for me to learn
Right.
and like understand the deeper aspect of where all that comes from
Yeah.
because it is very sensitive.
It is very sensitive, and like it's something that is like weaponized about like Seattle specifically. It's
Mm-hmm.
weaponized about like Portland specifically,
100%.
and like I don't know, man. Like I don't not to get like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but sending out military isn't gonna like solve those
Oh, absolutely not.
problems. You know what
Absolutely
I mean?
not.
Like seeing those things firsthand, and like seeing those things firsthand as like in my family too.
Yeah,
Just
same.
like I don't know. That's actually thinking about that would actually do the opposite.
I
You know
would
what I mean?
say so. And
From what
so,
I can tell, you know.
yeah, I think that's also why I was triggered because it
Yeah,
runs in the family a
sure,
bit and it's triggering
of
because
course.
you see it real life. Like I can't tell these people what to do, but it really hurts to see it.
Yeah, in real time. Yeah,
But yeah, deploying people out to go try to mitigate some of these things, I
wild.
think, like I said, the women that I met who were working with
They're
them
doing
actively, like those
the
are the people who
work.
are doing the groundwork.
Correct. They're
It is
actually
not the troops, it is not the bans, it's
rehabbing.
not the
Correct.
laws. It's going to happen regardless of if it was legalized or not.
Right.
Um, but yeah, very interesting perspective and like glad that I was able to feel those things, come to that realization.
Yeah. And I think like the decriminalization of it all. Oh, it talks about politics. We were talking whatever. Um, but like the decriminalization of it all, I think the initial like incentive for that would be to help with the rehabilitation side of it.
Right.
I think that's the like thought behind those sort of things of like okay, if they're like less no, I don't know, negative like
Intent,
then
connotation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, then maybe we can. And I don't know if those things are net positive or net negative at the end of the,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know about city planning and shit
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't
I don't
know
know.
either, right?
But like yeah, it is all very interesting to experience firsthand, going back to like trips and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
of like even like people who may not be from Chicago coming and
Mhm.
seeing for
Right.
themselves
Right.
that like, oh, the city isn't like you had a life-changing experience
Yeah.
regard, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are like still great cities
Oh,
to
to me,
like yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Not everybody would probably have that perspective
I know.
either. It would
I
be
know.
like, I don't think I'm ever coming back.
I
But
know.
yeah, for me, it was like, wow, I think I could really grow to love this city like
Yeah.
more than I already do.
Right.
So yeah, Seattle definitely has part of my
Me too. Me
heart.
too. That was like one of my first trips that I took as an adult, like
Yeah.
as an adult
Yeah.
by myself, you know.
Oh, super
So,
cool art scene. Love. Love.
yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to the next.
Uh-huh. I'm not going to talk about like every trip in particular. I
Mm-hmm.
did go to Minneapolis for the first time since I had an internship there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I lived there for like, I don't know, 3.5 months, and then we went back for a concert this year. And I was thinking back to who I was during that time period that I lived there. And I like thinking back to Minneapolis was like not sort of the place that radicalized me, but like I lived there the summer after George Floyd happened.
Okay.
And like, so there was still like protests happening every day.
I
There
mean,
was
watching
still,
that city heal from everything that they just
and still see it
experienced.
sort of in its non-healed
Yeah.
state, you know, really
Yeah.
seeing how that affected not just like its civilians but also just like the civil unrest of the city, like cuz
Yeah.
that stuff was
They
still
were moved.
residual stuff was still happening a year later.
Right.
And I lived right in like sort of the bar area, and I don't know, there was stuff that happened that summer right in the city where like a civilian died due to like protesting.
Wow.
And just like, so seeing that, really, I was really into, that was the summer that like a Hobo Johnson album that really moved me came out too. And I remember thinking back to that, and I was like, oh, Minneapolis is such a important part of who I am because of
How long
that.
did you spend there?
Just 3.5 months. Like,
Okay.
I had a summer internship
Oh,
there.
sweet.
But like, there were like 2 other female interns at the paper mill that I worked at. That's super rare.
Yeah.
Like, all 3 of us were like
The girls. Yeah.
And we hung out, like we went out together. Sweet. That was like my favorite summer that I spent in college.
Wow.
And so to come back, and like I went to a concert, and like we went to Mall of America again. We did, like the normal Minneapolis stuff. Yeah.
I've never been over there.
It's one of my favorite cities. It is such a, it has Midwest charm, but like still feels like a Chicago, not like a big small
city.
Chicago.
Big city. Yeah. Okay.
It's so cute there. But
yeah, I can only imagine what that was like to kind of be in the mix of everything. And then, I mean, it makes you want to advocate.
Yes.
Like, we will not rest until there is justice.
Like, seeing the boarded up, like, because there was unrest. Right? Yeah. There was unrest in Minneapolis. Right. There was riot.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. Yeah. But like seeing the beautiful art, I would go on walks and seeing the art that was on the wooden, like,
the story it tells.
Oh my God, dude. Like, it was such a, not cool. It was so important to who I am. Yeah. Today. Yeah. So that I got to revisit that this year. I revisited a lot this year.
Yes. Yeah. I would say so, in personal relationships.
And like reconnect. Yeah. My big, I guess my overarching theme of the year was like reconnection. Yeah. That's beautiful. I would say. To like self.
Yeah. I think my top 3. Yeah. My top 3 themes. One of them was definitely that.
Yeah. Yeah. What was another standout trip for you?
I don't know. So I'd probably say California.
Yes.
And then the South.
Yes.
Because that's like the South. And I'd never been to the South. Well, I'd been to the South. I've been to Myrtle Beach. But it was like kind of party city, you know? But I was like, I was in Columbia.
It's a tourist, like Myrtle Beach is like a tourist town too. Yeah. So even the people in there won't be there from there.
100%. But no, Sacramento, of course, because I love California. It was like the 5th time I'd been to Cali, and I was like, wow, another place that I just love. In California.
Yeah, correct.
Because I'm obsessed with the West Coast. But like I said, I actually met that man who is a photographer but not a photographer in Sacramento. So I did a lot of connecting with like the locals, and a lot of them were just willing to be open with me about their stories. Fell in love with the farmers markets out there and stuff. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous.
One of my questions, I guess, would be like for the audience of, because you and I think both are decent. You're better than I am at it, I would say. I think when I'm alone, I'm a little bit better. When I'm with another person, I'm shy.
Yeah.
But like socializing with strangers.
Yes. Discernment is extremely important. I have a very strong discernment. I can kind of read people, engage them. Of course, you still have to be safe no matter what you're doing, but I feel like I kind of walk into the room and like if I'm overhearing something, like let's laugh about it. Like when I was in,
what's so funny?
Yeah, what's so funny? I was in like Oklahoma one time, and like there was 2 older couples behind me and their realtor, and they were looking for like a bridge, and I'm looking out the window. We're on like the 70th something floor, and I'm like, all right, I can't find it either. Like I kind of just start chiming into conversation.
Yeah, bro, I'll talk out loud.
But when you're solo, like, okay, I can sit here and scroll on my phone.
Right.
I can put it down,
or
and
we can yap.
Be present. And like when you're present by yourself at a dinner table, I mean, it's awkward.
It is awkward
It's
at
awkward.
first.
I'm gonna sip my drink. I might finish it in 5 minutes because
I bring like a journal sometimes.
That's probably smart. Because I'm like, I don't want to pick up my phone. So I think that not wanting to be connected to anything else but like the present brings me to these conversations.
Right.
What was your question? Like, how do I navigate that?
Yeah. Do you like, I guess just like tools to, because I think something that people, what makes you interesting, I think, to people is sort of like self-contentment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of like how to become comfortable enough with yourself to be comfortable enough to just like yap loud enough for other people to hear and hope that they chime in. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've like, it takes practice. It takes exposure therapy. It does. You know,
and you might not always succeed the first time.
Right.
So that's my thing. Like,
right.
I might throw a joke in there and someone might just be like,
I'm with people all literally.
Yeah. They're like, girl, I'm not catching that.
Oh my God. I said good morning to homegirl who was out with her dog.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I was also smoking.
Yeah.
That girl is 6:30 in the morning. Are you smoking a dog walker right now?
No, for real. Oh, that's probably my neighbor lady. That's so funny.
And she probably finna be like, your stoner friend.
Yeah, about that. No.
But like, part of it is just like
putting yourself out there,
dealing with the rejection of it. I'd be like, I love your shirt, homegirl ain't never hear me.
Exactly.
That's
so keep
fine.
doing that. Keep doing it even when people aren't receptive to it.
Yeah.
Keep being who you are and don't let one interaction deter you from having
Correct.
another interaction. And be open-minded because you're meeting these people at face value in the middle of a bar, a restaurant. Right. So don't be so hard on them. Like, you don't know these people. You don't know their story. And again, that discernment, like you really have to feel people out, get an idea of their intentions and what that conversation is going to mean.
Yes.
And then know when to leave.
Yeah.
You got to know when to leave. I'm a leaver.
Right.
Hey,
leave us alone now.
Still hard to leave, but like know when the conversation's over, know when it served its purpose and you learned your lesson and you move forward.
Correct.
Because you gather things from different people,
right?
Their stories, and just knowing when to take that and end it at that. That was all I needed.
Yeah.
That was all I needed in that moment. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go beep bop over here.
Right.
Don't follow me.
Right. Now I'm going to go talk over here.
Yeah. So just know when to end that because especially when you're traveling, it's like people get a little taste of you and they want more. And
Correct.
Like, I need to leave.
Correct.
So yeah, definitely mindfulness and discernment.
Mm-hmm. Love. Okay, I have my next trip that I have is Malaysia.
Okay.
Malaysia was like the most life-changing experience for me this year, probably overall.
Malaysia.
So, one, I found out that I was getting sued while I was in Singapore.
Okay.
That was like the first thing.
You got a layover there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did 4 from O'Hare to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do, you can have a layover in Turkey and just have 1 layover, or you can do 2 layovers and they can be various. But I did San Francisco to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Malaysia is only like an hour and a half.
That's not bad at all.
But the flight from San Francisco to Singapore is 16 and a half hours.
Yeah. I don't know nothing about that life yet.
What's the longest flight you've been on?
Like 5.5 hours.
I damn near prefer a 16-hour flight over a like 4-hour flight. I hate 4-hour flights because it's not enough for me to be like, it's not short enough for me to be like, this is a short flight, but it's not long enough for me to like really just like, I'm gonna live on this plane for the rest of my life type shit.
Yeah.
So I get antsy on 4-hour flights. Where like 16-hour flights, I'm like, I live here now.
Okay.
I'm never
Shit.
I'm never getting off this flight.
I don't know. I'm not a napper. I'm not a public sleeper.
You don't nap on.
I'm not a lay my head back and go to sleep on a plane. I'm like a look out the window and listen to 100 songs and journal.
that would drive you crazy.
So it might drive me bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you're gonna have to sleep, right?
Right.
Like,
Correct.
just go to bed at some point.
Correct.
But
you get fed twice.
okay.
And then they're pretty dope. Like honestly, usually it's like they keep the lights down most of the time to try to be like sleep, bitch, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, I learned about that. But then also I realized like that was the first time all year that I really felt safe, that I was around like more than one person that I trust.
Which is interesting because you're in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
But I was around like Tarsh and the like the people that I know would do anything for me, and his family is very like they me and Bestie went out, and like we were out until like 4:30 in the morning, but we were staying with Auntie and Uncle, and they just like Uncle stood up or like stayed up to make sure that we were good, you know. So that part was really like, because I haven't really been talking to my family, you know.
Yeah.
To be someplace where
you're connected with others' families.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where like people are looking out for me. Usually that all falls on me. Like when you're an adult, that to me, that
okay.
like for me, the safety of it all is like I'm solely responsible for
yourself,
myself.
And it's scary, and
yeah,
it's
especially
heavy.
in a foreign country.
It's heavy, but yeah, in a foreign country where you have that guardianship per se, you know, that's beautiful.
It was really nice. And then also, it was sort of the first time I'd ever been in a space where like men not only like accepted bigger bodies, but like not preferred it damn near. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
I had never been in like parts of Asia. Bigger bodies are like preferred over like smaller bodies.
Interesting.
And so I had gotten attention, like, mind you, like I get attention no matter what. That's not what I'm saying. I was the white girl in the like
in a foreign country. You stood out like a sore thumb.
I stood out. But like I have such lasting, I'm never gonna not be confident about my body again. And I think that's solely because I've been around, I'm like, oh, there are places in the world where like I like, and other people's like validation shouldn't be the thing that makes you confident, but like just to be somewhere where like I am the preference.
It's a perspective change.
Yeah, it was a perspective change, like, more than anything.
Because I think it's a reminder that some people might not value you, but you are at who you are now
is acceptable. Every version of yourself is acceptable.
100%. Yeah, that's so reassuring.
That was the lesson.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, I don't have to be any sort of thing, and somebody's still gonna think I'm the baddest. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
come as you are.
Correct. It was like, that trip was so life-changing for me in so many ways. Like, and not just that too, like I got to spend time with somebody who knew me and like whatever. And like didn't I
water. You're okay. Baby.
Like I knew that they had romantic interest in me, and but they didn't objectify me. Like they didn't force me to be physically intimate with them. And that's some sort of we talked about that a little last night. Yeah. That's some sort of pressure that I'm not used to getting from men. And to feel the most sexy I've ever felt, but also not inherently objectified.
In a safe space.
You know what I mean? Is like
they're like, there was no need to perform.
You know what I mean?
Make you feel like you should participate. I need to these actions.
Do something about because I think you're attractive. Yeah. Who do you think?
Who do you? Yeah. Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So that, I don't know. That was just like such a integral thing to who I am today. I think I'm completely different because I went on that trip.
Do you think you took that experience home immediately?
Yes.
Or as you learned it, you absorbed it?
Yeah. There was no there was no middle in between. I just like suddenly it was like, oh, I'm confident now.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. So yeah, that was that's my big trip for the year. Next, I'll like mostly just talk about like solo traveling probably, and like whatever. But just like that was my overarching big life changing trip for the year.
Realization too. I mean, and it's like someone will always love you for who you are.
Yeah.
Someone will.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the people in the direct vicinity of you.
Correct.
They're out there. They're out there.
Yeah. How about you? What was your big trip of the year?
Let's see. I don't know. I spent a couple weeks in Florida and I spent a couple weeks in South Carolina.
South.
The South. Well, for one, I got to see my brother when I went out there. The South is different. I think a lot of it was like receiving different attention that I was like, wow, you're really comfortable sharing that look at me. And typically people will kind of keep that to themselves. Like if I'm walking and we pass each other and you are turning around to extend your neck, like you should probably just keep walking.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
And also kind of navigating like what is my defense mechanism in that moment,
in those spaces.
When I'm perceived that way.
Yeah.
When I know that someone is sexualizing me, what is my defense mechanism?
Yeah.
And for me, it's like kind of putting up that wall and like that RBF.
Yep.
And that tone changes.
Yeah.
Yes. And not that South Carolina was negative at all. I had a beautiful time. I went to Foley Beach, which is interesting. It's close to Charleston, so it's like maybe like 20 minutes from Charleston. And it's a little beach town. And
I love beach towns.
I'll go back to a culture shock again because it was just like, why are you so comfortable being ignorant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some weird people in beach towns.
Yeah.
Because usually outside of tourists, like it's just the people who be working at the tourist spots.
Exactly. And they just all live there and tolerate each other's BS and nobody tells them they're wrong or right.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, it was at one point I caught myself like someone had pulled up and randomly said the N-word and I was like, got out the car, like, who the fuck raised you?
Yeah.
And I'm like verbalizing these things and I'm like, wait, I'm grown.
Yeah.
These are probably like 16-year-old.
No.
Yeah.
That's something I had to.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. And then like I was with my brother as well and he's just looking at me like, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I let that kind of offend me a little bit because who are you talking to?
Correct.
But different cultures.
And if your parents ain't here, I'll parent you, bitch.
No. I was like, I'll tell them. We ended up like in the store. We're at the same.
Where your mama at?
We're at the same like drink fridge. I'm like, yeah, you'll wait your turn.
Right.
Behave. Like,
correct.
Fuck.
Watch your tone around me, please.
Please. Yeah, interesting city. I actually met this lady. Super kind. She kind of reminded me of like me as an older woman. Very artsy. She had her wire wrap jewelry on.
So cute.
And she seen me. She pointed me out. We started talking and she brought me to her friend who used to live in Chicago because, you know, we talked about where I'm from. And she was just like, wow, they were just kind of infatuated and admiring me and like really excited to be in my presence. To walk into a space and to be admired by women like 3 times my age, like, girlfriend, I admire you.
Correct.
So it was so nice to be in their presence. And then they welcomed me and they were like, we're having a birthday party. It's like my 70th birthday party. All my friends and family are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's on the pier. Come.
Love.
Here she goes.
So
and
that's
then
what I want to.
I ended up going to the 70th birthday party.
Period. Duh.
I had to.
I mean, you got invited.
I got invited. And where else am I going to be?
Right.
So my brother, his friend, and I, we show up.
Cute.
And I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't know what to expect. And when I tell you this entire family welcomed me and my family with open arms, it was extremely wholesome.
Love.
I saw how seen she was by her family and how much they loved her. And I was like borderline in tears, like, for the picture aspect. There's like a acoustic guitar player and he's strumming and the sun's setting. And everyone's just drinking and getting along and socializing. and I ended up kind of connecting with some people. Like they're selling clothes, I sell my jewelry, so we're bonding over those different things. But the kindness of strangers when you're in different places will shock me every time, and that will stick with me every single time that I travel. So that's just my biggest takeaway from all of the traveling that I've done this year is like, although you're away from home and it may not feel good all of the time, like these people are human just like you. These people have the same thing going on, the same struggles, the same fears, even if you're in a different place. So it just still exists, and you're not alone.
I did a lot of, or not a lot, well, sort of. I've done a lot of solo travel this year. I did the most like recent is to Milwaukee. And I just like spent a weekend there traveling, spending some time to like that time alone for me, just spending in the car or on planes, wherever you're spending that time on your own, thinking about anything or how to, for me it's like, okay, these things that I've been going through over the last whatever, what does that all mean to me? And do I want to, how do I want to act moving forward as a result of the, like, I don't know, I spend a lot of that time introspection, like and I think that if I don't travel and do those things, I don't do the introspection as much as I should, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder why that is, because I feel the same way.
It's transitional. I don't know, for me at least. That space.
I feel like the dust kind of settles when you're traveling. Like the dust settles when you get home too, but like when you're traveling and you're away from home, you don't have to worry about your day-to-day tasks. Like I don't have to do the dishes, like I don't have to fold clothes. So you're kind of in a space where I can be whoever I want to be because I'm out of town. Like I don't have to live up to any sort of expectation while I'm out here, besides existing and enjoying what I am seeing. So I feel that a lot. And then also stepping away from where you are and coming into a new space and like seeing who you are now. Like, wow.
Well, this can sort of transition us into the personal relationship. So like one of the notes that I have here is one of the trips that I took this year was to Detroit. And during that, that's okay. I think it's still recording.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, everything's good. But during that, so I took a trip to Detroit, and we, like, I don't know, at the time I had just, my personal life was hell. That's another thing that I really appreciate about traveling is like, no matter what, you had set that obligation to do those things, and so you're gonna do them.
Yeah.
Because like there are times where I'll cancel plans and stuff like that because something emotional happened or whatever, and like I don't feel, I don't know, mentally well enough to like be myself at the function. I don't feel like I should come as I am, you know? And traveling for me, you do that shit no matter what.
You do that. Yeah. You
You said
definitely
there's
do.
money involved in this, like there's investment.
There's commitment.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to get through it.
Correct. And so I think for me, like the growth that happens while going through shit while you're traveling, for me is super integral. Of like, I was going through like just like boy shit during Detroit.
Yeah.
But that sort of made the trip not more fun, but you're like, I don't know, I'm like,
I don't know.
We're gonna act out of pocket a little bit.
It's hard to stress when you're out of town.
Correct. Having fun.
I'm blessed. Like,
correct.
What?
Correct.
Yeah.
How could I ever be sad right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, actually.
Well, and it also applies to your real day-to-day life.
Correct.
No, you're not going to sit here sad, and like it gives you that perspective of, wow, the world is this damn big.
Correct.
I'm out in this new space and I can make it whatever I want it to be. I don't have to perform here.
Yeah.
So,
and my world is much bigger than these stupid world problem, like these small world problems that I'm bringing to it.
Small world problems. And then, like I said, with culture shocks, there's larger problems in the world.
Correct.
You can take a step back and be appreciative of the things that you have. Your struggles are still relevant.
Yeah, and they matter.
Yeah, they do. But like just to see You are
like
kind of a
there are
speck. You are
others.
a speck
There
on
are
this big
others.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's like I appreciate traveling in that regard too. Of like I don't chicken or like I can't like pussy out of it.
No, you
You know.
can't. No, you can't.
Anything else? Anything else you
No,
want to talk
I
about?
think I think that's it. I mean, I spent like a total of 4 weeks. I did 2 2-week trips. So 2 weeks in Orlando and 2 weeks in South Carolina. And those were the longest trips I've ever been on.
Yeah.
It's the longest I've ever been away from home.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went to Detroit and then South Carolina, like back to back, so like 3 weeks away from home. And when you really get to spend that time with yourself, like you really, it's a lot of introspection. It is
Yep.
like asking questions and having those conversations like, wow, I've overcome this, that.
Right.
And I haven't really looked back and appreciated that. And now here
Correct.
I am in this new space and I'm going to enjoy those things. But wow, look how far I've come in those circumstances. So I could resonate heavily with that. Very transformative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, segueing into
Personal stuff. Like, yeah. So I don't know. On my for my like we talked about, I entered the year pretty feeling pretty isolated, I would say. Of like, oh, I'm in this I have to figure this out on my own.
Same.
Oh, and it was my choice. Like
Yeah.
I had like
Same.
stepped
Same.
away,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um but I had to sit with it now. Like I was like, this is
You
you
make your decision, now live with it.
yeah.
Mm.
And I lived with it for real. So like then my goal was to figure out community and figure out like my relationship to home because that's a big thing that we've talked about is like is home something that I can come back to? Is that something that I'm even open to?
Yeah.
How do I navigate that without reverting back to patterns and habits and whatever that I didn't like when I lived back here, you know?
Yeah,
So,
changing the narrative for yourself
yes.
about home. Because for me right now, home is kind of, well, where I grew up, anyways. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not the best connotation for me. It's kind
Sure.
of negative.
Hmm.
I just feel like part of me is like, why would I want to raise a family in the same place that I grew up in?
Sure.
Like, I want to leave those things behind. But a lot of growth that I did this year was like reconnecting with those from my childhood
Yeah. Same.
and re-meeting those people
Yep.
for who they are now and better understanding them instead of who I thought they were.
Yeah.
And there's so much beauty in that. And I've learned a lot about these people. And I've also come to terms with this place that I didn't
Yes.
have such a good thought about. It's actually
Before.
grown to be more positive.
Mhm.
There's beauty in home.
The big like overarching theme for the year for me is reconnection
Yeah.
of like reconnecting to who I
Yourself.
was when I was that age because I still feel that negative connotation about who I was back then. You
Boo.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so reconnecting with that version of me
Mm.
and then sort of re-meeting her too.
How have you done that?
Well, I think it was sort of on accident at
Mm-hmm.
first. Like when the Gilio shit happened, um, I think that came out of me without me sort of even giving
Right.
permission for it to come. It was just sort of intrinsic. I was like, oh, this thing that happened when we were kids is coming back up
Yeah.
again. And I know that at the time I felt powerless, but now I don't know if I have power anymore
Yeah.
or like as an adult, but I'm going to try. Um, that sort of, I don't know. It was that
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. So I guess this year was like reconnecting and like figuring out but I still felt a lot of shame about those things. Like I
Yeah.
was like, I'm advocating for these things and I don't even know if it's the right how I'm going about it is the right like I don't know. I had still felt a lot of shame about being bitchy. Therapy is the big answer, right? Like I already had felt shame about certain things about my personality as it relates to being aggressive, as it relates to all of those sorts of things. Like people being like, why is she so loud? Why is she taking up so much space type shit,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
Which I think is obviously when you are raised to think that taking up space is wrong,
Do you feel like you were raised like that?
Yes.
Okay.
However, I can't help it. Like,
Yeah.
that's just sort of the way that my personality's always been.
Yeah.
And so unpacking that shame, I guess, is like sort of the biggest thing of like, one, I have learned how to balance my anger or whatever of those things that make me feel shameful that I think that I shouldn't act like or whatever. Balancing when I do those things and only doing those things when either not like the recipient deserves it, but like using my powers for good.
For better good.
Yeah.
And not just going off.
Correct. Because
Yeah.
like I like as somebody who can kick your ass with some words, bitch, like
yeah,
knowing when to use that shit for good and evil.
It doesn't have to be used in every argument.
Correct.
I used to be a lot harder than I am now.
Same.
And as I'm re-meeting those people, they're also re-meeting me as well. So I've gotten feedback too, like, I can't believe you're this person now.
Right.
And you were this person before.
Correct. Same.
And I don't think I have shame about my past self either. I love her. I know that she behaved that way for a reason.
Correct.
And I don't think I've gone through like the shamefulness of that per se, but I've definitely gone through something needs to change. And I don't like this behavior.
Yeah.
I don't find it to be beneficial to my personality.
Correct.
Or other people in my life. So yeah, and I've grown to be a little bit more blunt with that too. As I've gotten older, my tolerance for certain things is smaller.
Well, yeah. Because as like a former mean girl, I'm like, if I can make it through the day without being a mean person, you should be able to.
You can too,
yeah,
right?
Correct.
No, for sure. And the younger version of myself was very naive.
Yeah.
And she didn't know better
right.
than to behave the way that she did. So yeah, I think most recently I'm really navigating like what I'm going to tolerate from myself and others, because I hold myself to a certain standard now that I didn't. And now that I'm here, I also hold others to that same standard. And like, I am really good at filtering things out. So if you bring something to me that I'm just not interested in, I will say it.
Correct.
And it's not a mean girl thing. It's just a matter of filtering those things based on tolerance levels, and mine have changed.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Like, yeah. And I don't know, becoming more, I don't know, one of the big things that happened for me this year was I became really confident in the not so nicer versions of me that come out when I face disrespect or when I face different things.
But I wouldn't label it as not so nice. I would label it as like, this is me advocating for me.
Correct.
And you provoked this.
Yes.
So it's shameless, really.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's unapologetic.
Yes.
Unfortunately for some people.
Correct.
Not for
us.
Yeah, not for us. For sure.
Right.
Not me though. Y'all be safe.
Yeah. Right. All right. Maybe advocate for yourself.
Advocate for yourself.
Like that. Like, so that was something that I said to someone recently of like, self-advocacy is supposed to only benefit self. Like, I don't care if
that's true.
Like, yes, it is benefiting myself.
It's important though, and
that's what I am intending to do right now is benefit myself.
And I think we touched on this last time too, but other people will do it. So Correct. You should probably speak up too.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was kind of that person who, if everybody in the room is shouting and they want the attention, I'll like sit in the background and I won't reach for it. But like, you deserve the same opportunity as anybody else has to use your voice and to speak up. So yeah, just becoming more shameless about it. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. For like personal relationships, build like continuing on of like, I have built, or like, I don't know, one this year because I have some sort of like newfound standards for my life. I have had to like remove some people who don't meet those new standards. So that sucks, right?
It does. And it's such a blessing though at the same time.
Correct.
Correct. But it's uncomfortable. And we don't mean to make people feel like bad about who they are as a person.
No.
But sometimes it just no longer aligns. And if your spirit is constantly being torn back to the same place that it was before, how are you going to grow from it? So your surroundings have to grow as well with you.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the balance that I've had to figure out this year with as it relates to reconnecting, but also finding and being able to advocate for when things don't align anymore. Of like, I thought that maybe this thing could align again, and it turns out it doesn't. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I think I struggle with that a lot because I'm a very nostalgic person, and I will think on all those times when it was so good. Like we were talking about yesterday, how reminding yourself of those feelings is so important to move forward. So you may in the past have been infatuated with this situation and you forgot how sad it made you feel.
Correct.
You forgot those memories that were embedded. So reminding yourself of how that impacted you and why you chose to move forward.
Right. And I was actually thinking about this on the drive down of like, I don't know, maybe people feeling shame on my behalf for posting maybe like content when I'm in a heated state, or maybe making emotional posts or that sort of thing. And me just sort of, or like me that even being like self-judgment on myself of like, were you in the emotional state to be posting this, whatever. I think, to your point, the reason why it's so imperative for me specifically to post those time periods is like you said, if I don't post when I'm pissed like that, I'm not going to remember 3 days from now how truly devastated I was about a situation. Because I like, my emotional permanence is little to none. I'll forgive you on the drop of a hat because like I don't feel that way anymore. So like, who cares? You know, like,
but also learning to, of course, remind yourself, but also get out of the dwell. Remove the dwell.
At the end of the day, the day gotta end.
The day gotta end. You cannot hold on to it. You cannot continue to dwell in that state. So moving forward from those things, saying they happened to me, I remember how I felt, and it's okay.
Correct.
Are we live still?
We're live still.
Okay.
We're going through it, y'all. You moved through. Well, okay. So the way that I'll start this conversation is like, the last time we spoke about like, not soul tie connections, but some sort of like long term attachment, right? And like how to navigate that. We're still talking, like, we're still figuring out how to navigate those things. What do you say, what would you think is like your biggest lesson as it relates to like that, since we talked in March or whenever it was? You know?
One thing I've taken away from that, the long experience of that, is forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Forgiving yourself, because I think part of me kind of thinks back on how hard I was on that person or like those people, how hard I was at such a young age, and forgiving myself for being that hard, like for being that difficult and growing through those things. And then also forgiving that person for what we experienced in that moment, to move forward. Also trying to understand your emotions and whether or not this is hard, whether or not you are ready to really move forward, and what that looks like for you. So what does the detachment look like emotionally? What comes up as you're moving forward, and what needs to be addressed? I think you kind of take it as you go. There isn't one path.
No.
But as you go through life, those things will continue to show themselves. You have to face them as they come up.
Right. How have you started to like, I don't know, with that detachment process, like how do you try to navigate the detachment process without, I don't know, like bitterness being the core of it? Because I guess like for me, it's hard for me to move on from anything without anger or something being, you know what I mean?
That's a good question because I don't have bitterness. I'm not bitter and I'm not angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sad, you know, but I don't find myself to like hold a grudge and hold resentment.
Yeah.
I think understanding like when you love someone, it doesn't go away just because
Never.
your attachment.
Maybe not never, but like,
Yeah, well, it just doesn't go away because your attachment went away.
yeah.
So allowing yourself to like now I don't hate you because
No, never.
something happened. Can you see the
I
question?
don't, yeah, I don't even really remember. Oh, like not having bitterness be at the core of it.
Yeah. Like understanding that love still lingers.
Yeah. Yes.
Whatever love I gave you is yours to keep. You've heard that before.
Right.
I think it still stands true, and moving forward with peace and knowing like that our paths crossed for a reason. They stopped crossing for a reason, and we're growing in two different directions. There's beauty in it.
Yeah.
So detaching in that way and not a way like, wow, I no longer have access to this person's life. Because that's not how I feel. I don't feel bitter. I don't feel angry. I feel like at peace that we crossed, and like now you can continue to go in the direction you go in, and I will continue in my direction. So, yeah.
Team. Love. Do you want to talk about reconnecting with hometown? Do you want to like talk about that a little bit more in detail?
Yeah. So I did a lot of like reconnecting with myself and like sports.
Yeah.
So I got back into volleyball this year. I did that a lot at the beginning of the year with some friends from like Sunday morning club. And then we had a rec center that we were going to. And then in the summer, a lot of my friends started playing volleyball. And then oddly enough, I met friends through my best friend who also play volleyball. So I had an abundance. So a lot of old friends and I got together when we were actively getting into it again and playing the game. And it brought like such a beautiful friendship to me.
Good.
I knew these people for who they were when they were so young, and I can still reference those things to this day. Like as we are re-meeting, I'm like, I remember when you were like this, or I remember when you used to feel this way.
Correct.
And like I can see how that's manifested in your life as you've grown and gotten older. And like, wow, we're still dealing with things from our childhood. So that's evident for sure. Like I knew you then and I know you now because of that, but there's been a lot of personal growth in those things. And the way that people have evolved has helped heal me as a person. Because as a, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say like a child, but like growing up in the smaller town and like leaving the small town and like kind of looking back like, I don't want to go back. And I wasn't interested in seeing those people again entirely. But once I opened my mind up to it, it really healed parts of me that I didn't know needed to be healed. Because I had such a negative connotation to the small town that I grew up in, and then the people that I was able to rekindle with and meet again showed me like the beauty in it. Like, wow, we knew each other. It just because I moved away, which was impactful to me, doesn't mean that didn't still exist. Like we still had shared all of those memories and we can still talk about those things. It didn't disappear. It felt like it did for a long time.
Same.
It felt like
I agree.
It felt like I left and like that never existed, but recognizing those things and being able to reminisce is so
agree. Nice. Yeah. When I've reconnected with like the various people I've done episodes with or whatever throughout the year, like it's been really cool to figure out how, like you said, how what you went through as a kid or whatever
has impacted you.
Finally, like hearing missing context of some of my friends' childhoods that I didn't know at the time, but like definitely makes sense now that I do know. And like so much of our childhoods make so much more sense now because of the content.
They were
or the
correlated
context.
too. We grew up in the same town with the same type of income, right? We all went to the
Correct.
same schools. Our parents had very similar struggles, and we both want different things for ourselves now in this life. So, like, doing adult shit,
Yeah.
like, we're cooking dinner together and
Correct.
having these big friend sleepovers, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's been the best. But like we talked about, like continuing to figure those things out and like, but still be like, okay, but here are some of the things about my hometown or whatever that I still don't like too. Figuring those
Okay,
things out
yes.
and then trying to be able to figure out the balance between like liking home and like trying to figure like heal your relationship to it, but then
Yeah.
also still being like, okay, but there are certain parts that I still.
Well, what it helps do is separate the people from the place.
Yeah.
You can look back and say I hate my small town because, like, I don't know, and you kind of have that connotation about the whole thing, the
Right.
people, the things to do, etc. But now when you're re-meeting those people, I can take away the people part.
Right.
Like, they're still beautiful people. They're
Yes.
still incredible. They're just as smart as I remember them to be.
Right.
Um, and time hasn't changed that, but now I can look back and say, well, I just don't want to like necessarily raise another generation of us.
Right there.
Like, but, you know, because we all had
Or
our
in the
struggles.
environment that like still sits there as we stand today,
Right.
or like, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Breaking cultural patterns and generational curses.
Yeah.
So it might not even be, like I said, the place, but the generational curses that have
Yes.
been
Festered there.
festered there. Exactly.
I agree. I would like to heal. That's part of the goal, is to
Yeah.
help figure all that out.
Yeah. I feel like I'm healing that part of me.
Yes.
So it feels really good. I feel like I could peacefully move forward from that now. Like, once
Yeah.
you make
The
peace with
childhood
things.
phase of your life,
Exactly.
moving into the new adult phase of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've made peace with it.
I know. All right. You good?
I'm good, girl.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. We did so much today. We've done so much in the last.
We had a
I
good
had so
yap
much fun.
sesh.
So much
I had
fun.
so much fun. It's
Thank
been,
you for allowing me into
of
your home
course, it's
again.
always a blessing.
Yeah. So grateful. You're a very impactful person that has been a part of 2025 for me too. So
Thank
grateful
you,
that you're here.
Jen. You as well.
Yeah,
Seriously.
love you bad.
I love you so much. This is amazing.
Thank you.